Now, what are the telltale signs to look out for to determine whether a Pokemon single will explode in value? This is an incredible skill which every collector needs to learn, and this information will be revealed throughout this video. Now guys, I'm incredibly grateful to see such strong channel growth, and I'd love to celebrate by gifting this incredible PSA 10 SIR from VSTAR Universe. To be eligible to claim the incredible gift, all you need to do is number 1, subscribe to the channel, and number 2, comment below with what your favorite Pokemon set of all time is, along with sharing something positive that's happened to you lately. Now here comes the fun part to know if you won. All you need to do is be on the lookout for this specific lucky Bulbasaur emoji. If I reply to your comment with this specific lucky Bulbasaur emoji, congratulations, you've won. And as a cool bonus, all these custom built emojis can be accessed yourself with channel memberships. Feel free to join as they really help me as a creator to continue building high quality content. Now, in terms of the top 10 best Pokemon products at the moment, here's the lowdown. Pokemon singles are some of the most volatile purchases within collectibles at the moment, right? So like one moment they're up, another they're down, no one knows where they're gonna go. Though there is a specific skill set that everyone should learn, and that is knowing when to buy, when to hold, and when to sell. And I'm gonna explain how to do that in just a moment. Though it is important to know that Pokemon cards are always rising and dropping in value. It's not just expensive cards that need to be looked out for. There are always cards underperforming at any given moment. Now, there's reasons why Pokemon cards have these delayed rises, and I'm going to explain what exactly causes that a bit later on in this video. Though for now, I really want to go over some of the cards that have potential for growth. And another cool thing about them is how much value can be stored in something that needs very little storage. Like one binder can actually potentially store like thousands of dollars in value. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. Now, obviously knowing when to sell is also an important part of Pokemon collecting and investing. And usually that is just, you have to use a bit of your intuition along with looking at data and just judge when is the right time to sell, and you're not always going to get it right, though over time you should be getting better. Now let's get into the top 10. Kicking off at the 10th spot for a card that just seems like an obvious pick for future growth is the Ninetales from Obsidian Flames. Obsidian Flames has just been an incredibly awkward set due to the timing of its release, right? Though the Ninetales is priced at an incredibly attractive price point. It has been stable for such a long time, and once Obsidian Flames is officially out of print and more collectors begin adding these illustration rares to their collections, it will only be a matter of time before it blows in value. The artwork is sensational, and it really highlights the incredible beauty associated with Ninetales. This is a sensational artwork along with being an original 151 Pokemon, and it just makes it an easy pick. Now, moving on to number 9, it is the Infernape illustration rare from Twilight Masquerade. Now, Gen 4 and the Generation 4 starters are incredible, and they are also due for their nostalgia spike. The nostalgia spike really starts peaking around 20 years after a set's release, and given the fact that Gen 4 was released 18 years ago, it would be ideal to have some of these tucked away for potential gains. Infernape is a Generation 4 fan favorite and a classic, and also the Twilight Masquerade artwork is simply sensational. It really pops, and the reds are a real standout. It also is incredibly rare to actually have Infernape artworks in a higher rarity, so this one just seems like an obvious pickup. Now guys, I just want to say, if you're into Pokemon collecting along with Pokemon investing, I'd really encourage you to subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you're going to be able to gain the latest market prices, insightful life experiences I share, and awesome knowledge relating to Pokemon investing. Now, in the 8th spot sits Phione illustration rare from Twilight Masquerade. Phione is one of the rarest and most unique legendaries within Pokemon. The artwork is simply incredible, and it really gives a feeling of something divine. This artwork is sensational, and it really is an example of Pokemon's incredible artistic capabilities. Any Pokemon that fits within the legendary category always can rise. Like Celebi V showed us what's possible. Definitely keep an eye out for this incredible card. Now, number 7 is Darkrai VSTAR from Crown Zenith. Now, literally anything Crown Zenith is incredibly hot at the moment, though something interesting is happening right now. Even though Darkrai has had a small rise, I still don't think Crown Zenith singles have seen the full extent of how high they can go in value. The reason for this is because Crown Zenith is still available at somewhat reasonable prices. Earlier this year, when Fusion Strike officially sold out, was the moment when the singles exploded in value, and I feel there will be something similar as time goes on. Now, obviously give this Darkrai some time, and it will become iconic in its own right. The colors and the blues blend incredibly well, and Darkrai's black, red, and white color scheme flow perfectly within this artwork's composition. I highly rate this card and I see a very positive future for it. Now, moving on to number 6, it is Japanese 151 booster boxes. Yes, I know this is not a card, though leaving this off the list wouldn't be really fair. Now, obviously Japanese 151 has had an incredibly bullish run with kind of no signs of slowing down. Now, Japanese 151 was sitting at around 180 USD a box, and then it dropped as low as 50 USD per box because of the reprint. The reprint Japanese 151 had was bigger than any I've ever seen within my time in TCGs, and to say they went hard would be an understatement. Pokemon literally made a statement with this set and the reprint. They flooded the market. Though, this still is the original 151 Pokemon, and I always speak very highly why I believe Pokemon 151 will become a goldmine in the future, and you can see that in this video here. Feel free to watch that video to gain more perspective on 151. Though this seems like an incredibly obvious pick to be a candidate to rise in the future. Now, placed at number 5 is English Pokemon 151 singles. In particular, illustration rare and above. And I'm just generally talking about any English 151 here. A lot of these sets have been on sales and a lot of packs would be being ripped open, and eventually time will just exhaust this product out. Something that you got to keep note of is that the fact that these cards are tied to the original 151, so anything Blastoise to Venusaur to Charizard would be amazing picks. 151 has done incredible things, and the English 151 has had a little bit of a slowdown, but given enough time, and this thing could see a steady rise as the years go on. Now, sitting at number 4, it is the Iono Special Illustration Rare from Paldea Evolved. So fun fact, when this card released, it was the chase card of Paldea Evolved, though as time went on, people started shifting on what they enjoy. Now, while this artwork is incredible, as time went on, collectors just preferred the Magikarp Illustration Rare and other cards within Paldea Evolved, leaving Iono in the shadows. Though, as time has gone on, this card has certainly reached a low point in the market, and it seems like a great opportunity to take advantage of this card. Iono is a fan favorite and is very iconic, and it is tied to Generation 9. It may be a really good single to take advantage of. Now, sitting at number 3 is Perrin Special Illustration Rare from Twilight Masquerade. Now, what's cool about this artwork, it is placed within the golden hour, which in photography is known as the best time to take photos, so a lot of photographers have a connection to this. And given the fact that she is holding a camera in the frame, it is definitely a nod to photographers. Not only that, this card has an incredible amount of personality and it's still finding its feet within the market. While I don't necessarily like buying cards so close to release, it will be interesting to see the future of this card given its unique artwork. So most certainly keep an eye out for it. Now, moving on to number 2, it is Lost Abyss booster boxes. For those who don't know, Lost Abyss is the Japanese Lost Origin equivalent. Lost Abyss just recently had a reprint announcement and prices have tumbled way back down. This has obviously made it an incredible time to take advantage of this iconic set. Now, this is such a good time because Japanese 151 got the reprint announcement and no one knew how big it would be, so a lot of people got worried, and then no one really expected that 151 would get flooded so heavily within the market. So right now is kind of similar. No one knows how big this will be, how harsh the market will be flooded, though what we do know, it is a good time while the momentum is swinging in the buyer's favor. It also has some of the most incredible artworks packaged inside the set, so it's just a clear winner. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video why cards sometimes have these delayed rises, and that's due to the fact that people only notice something good when it's gone. The key is to see the value before the momentum shifts the other way. Now, finally, in number 1, it cannot go to anything other than the Eevee Illustration Rare from Twilight Masquerade. Now, this card deserves the number 1 spot at the moment, seeing how Twilight Masquerade is going as a set. It just seems like an obvious pick. This card seems that it's going to have an incredibly bright future ahead. You see, Eevee is iconic. There's no doubt about it. No matter which way you look, Eevee and all the evolutions are always going to be the hottest cards in the market. I am constantly surprised at the success of Eevee cards, and you can actually see how strong they are in my video where I do a deep dive into evolutions. As you could see in that video, you can never count evolutions out. Though what's important to understand is just understanding Eevee as a Pokemon and how well established it is as a Pokemon. Not only that, but it's an incredible artwork. I mean, we saw what happened with the Magikarp Illustration Rare and how it literally tripled in value within a few months. The same can happen with a card as popular as Eevee. Not only that, Twilight Masquerade is an incredible set that is showing its investment potential. Though there is one specific reason why Twilight Masquerade is looking as one of the best sets of Scarlet and Violet era, and it has a lot to do with the pull rates. If you've ever opened Twilight Masquerade, you'll know exactly how it goes. In fact, my experience opening it was wild for a few key reasons, and you can see exactly what I mean by clicking this video on screen right here. Within this video, I crack open the Twilight Masquerade booster box and I try to pull some of the best cards. This box break surprised me to say the least, though at least there were some really good vibes that were incredibly unexpected. If you're a fan of box breaks and love seeing high quality videos of packs being ripped, then you better click on that video and we'll talk more about it there.